MeTV 24 Meridian proudly presents your favorite way to start the day. Welcome to Mornings with Scotty Ray and Candace.
So this is the midweek, and welcome Scotty Ray and Candace as we get your day started. Everything good in your world?
Yeah, yes, so far.
So far?
So far today, anything.
Yeah. With breaking news as we see what's going on in Meridian, a fire has broken out in Meridian. And let's go to this picture. This is going on right now as we speak. This is happening now. There are now 3 homes engulfed in this fire. We're understanding that it was a fire, a house next to it on this side that is caught on fire, and a house behind it. All 3 homes, from what I understand, are vacant, so no one is hurt. And most likely, as we dig deeper into this, we're probably going to find that, like many other things that have happened lately, that it dealt with a homeless person. Now, you go, well, where is this? I see the picture. You tell me the address. Here's St. Charles Street here. This is going to be North Frontage Road is past Newell Paper up through here. Here's 22nd Avenue is west of there, and due north of I-20 here, North Frontage Road, right up through here, Grand Avenue up in this area here. Magnolia Beverage is just to the northwest of there, and that would be Miller Lite, for those who don't know what that term meant. But that's where it's located this morning. Again, the great news is no one is hurt.
That's always
It is. But that is the big breaking news of the morning. In Jackson, Mississippi, I don't know if you saw this, and I showed just a little bit of this while ago. Last night around 5 o'clock, and we're seeing this everywhere across the state, but look at this. This is Jackson, Mississippi. Wildfires running rampant. They worked on that about 4 or 5 hours to contain that last night in the Jackson area, and the fire just keeps going.
Yeah, because, there's been warnings about burning anything.
Right.
Of course, it could be anything. Somebody could have thrown something out the window.
A cigarette.
Yeah.
Could have been somebody trying to keep warm, or a brush fire. But they are strongly urging every fire department around, don't burn, wait till after it rains, that brush pile of weight. But everybody's getting ready for gardens, and they want to burn off where the garden is.
Right. You just got to do it. It's been windy lately, too. Really windy.
I am not one of those. I'm one of those that I'm scared of fire.
Yeah, I don't like it either. I don't like.
But I
don't even like the fire pit sometimes. Because, whatever you put in there, sometimes sparks go up and could land anywhere. So that's scary.
We all have that one friend who ain't scared to throw a match.
Yeah.
Oh, that was fun. Yeah. And I'm told, I never met my grandfather from scuba, but they said that he once a year caught scuba on fire, burning off the pasture. It'd get out of hand every year. But it didn't bother him. It does me, because it always spooks me real bad. I've had one get away from me, and I learned quick.
Well, I've always heard to take, if you plan on burning, like, say, a burn pile, go around it with, if you have a tractor, to go around it and do, a dirt. Is that how you do it?
Yeah, you're supposed to do that. It's kind of like when they burn off land, how they take a dozer and go around the edges of your land and light it up. It's got a name for it, that little path. I'll think of it in a minute.
That thing, can get out of hand quick.
Yeah.
Wind picks up. But thanks to all the firefighters that are handling these fires, and locally and on a state level, or anywhere, really. They put their life in danger doing stuff.
You watch that California stuff, I cannot imagine fighting that. And then, you get off. I don't know if you remember and they run it here on MeTV Emergency. Do you remember that old TV show?
I do.
And, they'll show them when they're caught in forest fires, and you don't know where the smoke is thick. You don't know where you are.
Because you know how overwhelming that is, but when it's your job to take care of it, you can't just say no. You can't just walk away. That's your job. So thank you to all of these firefighters.
Now, they've done a great job with this yesterday. Let me throw this up on the screen. This is a church right off 22nd Avenue, not really far from where this fire is this morning, where a fire broke out yesterday. This was at Hawkins Memorial and United Methodist Church. It was in the basement. Someone drove by and saw smoke boiling out the windows. They called the fire department. They were able to put it out. And the consensus is they think that it was a homeless person that got in there and was trying to keep warm in the basement. Yeah. I cannot verify that to be 100%, but that's what everybody's thinking at this point. But the good news is they saved the church and it was not destroyed. So we're seeing a lot of this, more and more and more of this. This morning, out in the Causeyville area, we had a brush fire also. bunch of volunteer firemen had to jump out of bed and try to figure out where the britches were somewhere around daylight. So that was it. So what'd you do last night?
Look, I've been.
She had that
well,
sound.
I've been trying to go through my kitchen cabinets. We're supposed to be trying to get everything painted and stuff pretty soon, but I've been going through my kitchen cabinets and throwing away and relining them and all that kind of stuff. That takes forever.
That lining, and it's got that sticky stuff on the back of it that holds where it won't slide.
I wish this did. This doesn't. This is just that rollout stuff. I wish I would have never bought, but I'm used.
Too late.
Eventually, I'm going to take it all out and just repaint the whole inside of the cabinet.
Angie's got some in our cabinets that is like cloth or something, and it sticks to it where not. And then she's got this rug that's got that same thing near a door.
Oh, yeah.
And me and her go through the devil with that rug. Because it'll stick, and I can't get it out from underneath the door.
This don't stick. I don't know if I'm doing something wrong. Maybe I am. I don't know. But it bunches up, when you try to put stuff on there.
Yeah.
It I don't know. That's what I've been doing. It's not fun, but it needs to be done. So.
It's got to be done.
It's got to be done.
I got a text late yesterday afternoon. Well, I guess it was last night. Somewhere, I'm going to guess here, it was between 8:30 and 9. I was getting ready to call it a day. And I got a text today here. It goes, yo, just had two Mustangs blow me off the road. We apparently had me and you weren't invited to it because we'd love to watch. There was a race on Highway 39 past the 601 up towards Winn-Dixie. Two Mustangs ripping and roaring. 100 plus miles an hour, I'm told. Not sure if the police had to get involved, but I'm sure that they were behind trying to catch up. They were moving.
That's dangerous, though. Anybody could pull out in front of them or anything.
You read stories of that nationwide. You remember the young mother in California that was killed that way? Two people racing and hit the side of her car. She was minding her own business. I also got a report. I didn't get pictures from the incident, but on Highway 45 last night, near the 145 exit, an 18-wheeler flipped over. Again, I don't think so, but I didn't get pictures. That was just a mention of what went on yesterday. And I was seeing here what else that may have happened yet. That kind of sums up everything. I did come along on North Hill Street yesterday, and I had like 3 places to go in 40 minutes to get it done. And I come up on North Hill Street, and everybody stopped. Uh-oh. They were replacing a power pole or something through there. But that at 5 o'clock is a huge delay on North Hill Street. We all know that.
5 o'clock is a busy time all over the town, really.
It is.
Everybody getting off work, caught up in all that traffic. It's a mess.
See, what did
John
Robin
Talbot said I'm being bossy. That's what I was doing yesterday, being bossy.
I believe so. I'm with him. What did Robin Dickerson say about that? About her cabinets there?
She said she just had a kitchen remodel and left my inside cabinets plain.
So I guess you can slide your plates on. My question, why do you put liners in cabinets? Why?
I mean, it just looks, to me, it looks better for me. I don't know, but I mean, like I had a couple of cabinets that did not have liner in it, and just the sliding of the pots and pans in and out, it put those black marks from the, from the metal on the pans, but I think it just really makes it look a little bit.
Bill's getting his garden ready there, getting some boxes ready there. Let's see here. Looked awful. Clark County Hot Topics. Truck driver was okay. Let me see here if Clark County has got it. Let me go over here and we'll pull up this picture. They are usually on top of anything that goes on in Clark County. We'll share that picture. This looks like, here's some video footage of what they've got here. And let's see if we can skim down and get a closer look here.
Clark.
Yeah, that's what it looks like there. I hadn't gotten a clear picture. I'm sure it's there somewhere. But when I got that message, I should have checked there. To be on top of that, Clark County Hot Topics really takes care of Clark County. Good folks there.
They're on the ball.
Yes, they are. Good people there. And welcome. If this is your first time visiting with us here on the morning show, we do appreciate it. Glad you're a part of this as we tell you about what happens locally around the area. And, well, we learn a thing or two from you.
We do. We always enjoy everybody coming.
Let's see who else we got watching here. We got several folks from around the area here. Ryan Brown, let's roll.
Deborah McKee, good morning. April Roberts, good morning. She's in Roby, Missouri.
Let's see. That's a long ways off. Shirley Sharp's up in Beatline. Some say that that's a long way off if you had to go there.
Miss Linda Culpepper's watching from North Alabama. Pat and Jim Coker from Hickory, Mississippi.
You folks there. Let's see here. We got some more folks joining us. Steve and Wanda McKinney, and also Sugarlock. Cindy Skipper, how in the world are you doing today?
Yeah. Bill Breinhart says he's building his garden boxes today for his maters and taters.
Gotta have them. Not like a good mater there. Now, we've got severe weather that is approaching the area for tomorrow. We're going to talk about that in depth next so that you're aware of what's coming. We want everybody to be safe tomorrow. So don't rush off. We're going to talk about that next, of what to expect, what the timeline is. And this is a pretty serious storm. This is not one of those that it could be fast. It depends upon how the hot and cold air meet up tomorrow as to how fast it travels through the area. But something very serious that we need to pay attention to. And we'll go into full discussion here in just a moment, so don't rush off. We've got all of that up and coming. Rock House Gun and Pawn is open Monday through Saturday from 9 a.m. until 6 p.m. Lots of different calibers and brands to choose from when it comes to hunting rifles. Whether you're looking for a new pump shotgun or an AR, the Rock House will have the gun that you need. With a huge selection of ammunition for just about any caliber that you may be looking for. Pistols, scopes, and a whole lot more. Plus a private lobby for your confidentiality when it comes to your pawns. Rock House Gun and Pawn, located at 5430 Highway 19 North Meridian.
On June 30th, 2021, the FDA alerted the public that Philips recalled certain CPAP devices due to concerns regarding its polyester-based polyurethane sound abatement foam. This is a Class 1 recall, the most serious type of recall. Use of these devices may cause serious injuries or death. If you're diagnosed with long-term, permanent, and life-threatening health complications, your illness may be linked to your use of a Philips breathing device, and you may be entitled to compensation. Call Richard Swartz & Associates for a case evaluation today.
And welcome back with Scotty Ray and Candace. I hope your day is wonderful. You got a good one all lined up. It's going to be cloudy for most of the day and hot. Did I mention? Let me see. I got my temperature written. I think it's going to be about 71 is what I got written down. Yeah, 71.
Gosh.
54 right now.
Gearing up for the bad weather.
It is. And let's just show you what's going to go on over the next 24 hours. As we pull up our first picture here, this is going to be tonight out to our west here, this first circle here. This is what's coming. By tomorrow, this is the area that will be affected with the bad storms. We are expecting this right here have the most probability of maybe some tornadic activity tomorrow. We want you to be aware of that, and let's go ahead and look at this. This is the timeline that the National Weather Service is telling us. All of this yellow area is where we are, our immediate area. And the timeline on that is anywhere from lunchtime tomorrow through 6 p.m. So we got an afternoon event, and I would rather have it during the daytime than I would late in the evening. I think most people would as well.
Yeah, I would too. I've moved my people from tomorrow to Friday.
Just best.
So, yeah.
Alabama, if you're on the other side of this, they're giving you a 2 p.m. to 8 p.m. window there just across the state line. As it comes into our area around Jackson, around lunch, and makes its way across, that pushes it 2 hours different for the immediate side of West Alabama that joins the Meridian area there. Now, as we look at this, here's another timeline of this area. Now, wind. I want you to understand this. Sustained winds of 25 to 35 miles an hour. That's strong, with gusts of up to 50 miles an hour. Now, and this is the uncertainty that we're unsure of here. If you'll notice there, Kemper County, Philadelphia, and also over here to Leake County is in the area too. Meridian and Newton County is a 1. The tornado activity could be a little bit worse right here at this line, is what I've been reading and studying on. But anywhere in here, it could happen. But especially right through this area here, we want to watch this tomorrow. Elevated threat there. And this could continue into making things even a more elevated look. Now, let's go pull radar up so you can just take a quick peek here of what's happening this morning of radar and everything expected as we turn on the severe weather for tomorrow. Outlook, day 2 right there. And this is what is expected tomorrow. Let me turn on weather there where you can see that a little bit better there. This takes in all the way up to Louisville, Kentucky, Nashville if you're watching in Tennessee, as well as Arkansas, Louisiana. Pay attention to this. But as you zoom in on this, this is those areas that we want to watch here, westward and east into Tennessee, all along in here. We'll be on this, and we'll give you street-by-street coverage tomorrow to let you know how close the storm is. Now, if you only watch on television, I urge you to pick up your social media account and follow me. Scotty Ray's Weather, You can also find us there on YouTube as well. Sam Media is how you'll look us up on that. Southern American Media is what that stands for. And Sam Media. You can find us in any of those locations, Twitch, Twitter, YouTube. We're there several ways in case you lose one or the other to follow us. That's a mouthful, wasn't it? Sound like I wouldn't hush. The main thing is we want you safe when it comes to weather. We'll be doing that. And as always, if you're out there and you encounter something, let us know so we can tell others about that.
That's right.
So today is Wednesday. It's hump day for most folks.
I am ready. Last night I was like, it feels like tomorrow ought to be Friday already.
It feels like it.
I know, you know, you have those days that just linger on and
It won't
it's
stop.
like a long day. But that's how it was for me.
I brought this up earlier this morning during our 6:30 headline newscast as Mississippi, about 30 old boys that work for you in the legislature decided that they wanted a raise. They wrote it all up and they threw it out there. And well, then after people started complaining, they tried to like scoot down in the chair. Chris McDaniel to the rescue yesterday brings it up as they were having session. And he goes, what are y'all going to do? Are you going to vote or are you not? And he goes home to say, he's point simple over this of, he said, you don't deserve, politicians don't deserve a raise that you knew what it paid when you ran for office.
Right.
Don't be trying to give yourself a pay raise and put it on the back of the taxpayer, Mississippi. I like Chris.
I do too. I like listening to him. I think he makes a whole lot of sense. And I think he would be, I think he's going to stand on what he believes.
He does.
You know? He's not going to just linger.
He went on to say, you know, you didn't give people enough time to call and tell you that they don't want you to do this. You were trying to hurry it through.
Right,
Shame
rush
on
it on
you.
through. So you know, so nobody might know what's exactly is going on.
From what I understand, it was like a mouse in a church. It was like silence. No one wanted their name at that point attached to it after they
Right.
tried to sneak it through. Shame on them. But that was some headlines from across the state yesterday that happened. So Chris stood up for us. And this.
People who do that, I think they ought to be replaced. I mean,
yep.
you can't trust them if they're doing stuff like that. You know?
Come 2 years from now, well, midterm, some of them will be up, and then in 24, some more. Right? Because it's so easy over the course of a 4-year period to forget what a politician did. Get you a notebook, write it down, and go, yeah, he did this. Because when you get behind that, you're rushed that day. You're in that little booth and you're trying to remember, and sometimes it doesn't hit you all that they've done.
Yeah. Somebody said that Chris McDaniel will make a wonderful governor. And
He would.
I think he would too. I think he'd be really
Rumor
good.
is Chris is going to make another run for that Senate. We'll see, to be a senator from the state of Mississippi. I would rather he move on to be a governor. I think we need him there just as strong. Will Tate make it past being one-term Tate? We'll see. Will Mississippi forgive or not? We got some more people that made a big old mistake in the state of Mississippi, and they've got them on suspension. I talked about this morning also. You heard about the inmate that broke out of jail.
Yeah, I did hear.
Yeah, they caught him 130 miles away from where he was. Now, he even was hurt so bad from his escape. You know, the barbed wire at the prison? He climbed over it and was cut up bad where he escaped. He had to go to the hospital twice. He was bleeding so bad. The problem was the hospital had no idea who he was because guess what? The prison never told anybody that he escaped. He escaped on Saturday. They didn't tell anybody until Sunday. Now, how crooked is that?
Yeah.
Well, they were trying to cover it up and put him back in to where they obviously weren't doing their job, the ones that let him escape. There's, I think, I may be wrong on this number, but maybe upwards of 10 people that have been put on suspension over this at the prison facility. They're not good at their job. Even if you make a mistake, you step up and go, wait a minute, we got somebody that just broke out. I may have caused it, and it's worked out. The problem comes when you try to cover it up and postpone telling the truth. Somebody could have been killed.
Yeah, they could have. I mean, I think...
But you go to the hospital because they've got all of these bolos that come out from the police of look for this person if they come in the emergency room. Nothing. I'm telling you, ought to be ashamed. as we move to
Seems like a
Nashville-
lot of different places need to make a clean sweep of everybody and just replace it.
Well, you got a
get
good
people in
point
there.
on that. There's a lot of people that get relaxed in a job and
Yeah.
just don't want to. Have you ever been anywhere and you spend money with them and they just act like they could care less that you spent money with that
yeah.
attitude?
Oh, well, I was just fixing to say so many places right now, especially like, some of the grocery stores and stuff that have so many people working, there's a lot of people who are there doing a wonderful job. I'll say that first. There's a lot there who are just there for a paycheck and they don't care to be nice.
Yeah.
Like they don't have any kind of courtesy, any kind of manners or anything. Look, when I go, I'm not asking for somebody to like bow down, help. But I mean, just when you speak and go, "How are you today?" I mean, just be kind of nice to get a reply. You know, like, you just get. I don't know. It's just so rude to me.
If people spend money with you, smile, treat them good, and that's an owner will do that because they understand how hard it is to make a living. But you get somebody that could care less, don't want to be, and that's what our workforce is in a lot. Not everybody. Don't take me wrong. But we all know that there's a bunch of Americans that have just quit going to work because they were getting paid to stay home. And then they had to kind of skim what was left over out there that they normally wouldn't hire. But if you run up on a problem, talk to the owner of a business. It's best to handle it. They may not know about it. Talk to them.
Yeah.
And say, hey, this happened. Just wanted you to know.
Right.
I like you. What's that I was saying? The way we do it, say, I love you, but.
Yeah.
All right, Amy Barrett done gone to Babylon up here, and I need to figure out. I wish tomorrow was Friday. I'm going on my long-awaited honeymoon. Her husband got COVID, I think, and they didn't get to go on that honeymoon. He's been walking on like cloud nine since they got married, and you need to straighten the boy out. Amy, calm down on the guy.
So many people have got it right now, got that COVID right now. Seems like every time I turn around, I got a cancellation or...
Somebody's sick?
Yeah, somebody's...
Thank heavens we're all healthy at this point. You never know. Yeah. Amy, are y'all going on a cruise? Is that what the honeymoon is going to be? Tell me where the cruise is, where y'all going. Ours, we went off to Nashville, Tennessee. I'll never forget it. I didn't know how to drive in traffic at 21 years old, but boy, I found out after I got to Nash Vegas what was going on. Really? Wasn't no red lights like in Meridian, Mississippi. Let's see, April Roberts says she's getting married soon, too.
All right. We didn't go on a honeymoon.
You didn't? We go down to Bassett City?
No.
Dunn's Fall? What'd you do?
No, we didn't. We're still waiting to go on a honeymoon.
That happens.
Yeah.
Columbia, Mississippi joins us. Winfred Cole, how are you today? Glad you joined in to watch the show here.
Jeannie McKay from Philadelphia.
Tanya Keller says that on that service right now, she sees that fast foods are the worst service that she's seen.
Yeah, I don't know if people are so desperate to get people to work that they kind of just have to throw them in there and don't really get them trained good. I don't know.
It's a little bit of that.
It could be that. I don't know. But, when you go through the drive-through and you got to ask for a straw, they shut the window, and then you're going, hey, excuse me, blowing the horn out there.
Right.
Could I get a napkin? Could I get a straw? Could I get,
They just don't include everything you need.
Just little things that you think would be just a given.
Always check, and I never do it. Check your order.
Yeah.
I always get home and
We've gotten where we check it all the time now because something's always, it seems like, missing or wrong.
But like we do, it's a good 20, 25-minute drive back to town, and you just can't go back and get that one hand. Somebody going to get left out.
Isn't that aggravating? Because it takes us a good... while to get home too. You get
2
home
hours.
and everybody's sitting around waiting on their food, out of the bag, and you're like,
"Where's mine?
We didn't get yours. I'm sorry."
Then you got to go to half and
then
sandwiches.
I always give mine up or something.
I'm gonna remember that. So you give up your sandwich.
No, my son won't eat. Like we've gotten home before though, and somebody's missing something. I'm like, you can just have mine, whatever. I'll eat them.
We had a question about schools closing tomorrow. Nothing has been said about that. I'm sure that they're going to evaluate the weather overnight and in the morning. If it becomes a huge threat that they feel that it would deal with schools, they'll make that decision most likely in the morning. Yeah. If it comes to that,
they're already out Friday. Well, the county,
virtual.
The county, is having a virtual day. So,
but a lot is determined on that of where this air is going to meet. Will it be in our area? Will it be a little north of us? But we'll watch it, stay on it for you there.
Just be prepared. It might not be as bad as we think. But,
we hope so.
All right.
Hope it'll go away. Bob Saget, and we've talked about him several times. And of course, you go back to the Colby Bryant story, to where pictures and things started leaking from the scene, and it's very hurtful for a family. And you think about that, whether you're a celebrity or not, would you want a loved one? And we saw this on a local case of autopsy pictures being shown on the public in the news and all over social media.
That's a very personal time for a family or any, I mean, you just don't want stuff like that out there.
So his family has filed an injunction to stop the media from releasing pictures and video. Of course, they went in because it was a murder, not a murder scene, but when a death occurs,
right,
especially on that level, they're going to document everything that they saw.
Right.
And the family wants that stopped. They said that they don't mind the wording being used in the public, but they don't want pictures. And I totally get that.
Yeah, I would agree with that 100%.
I didn't realize he'd only been married to this old girl for 6 years now.
Oh, really?
His wife. I thought they'd been married a long time.
That is like odd though, because they're still trying to determine exactly what happened. You know, what I read yesterday was that I guess it would be the medical examiner said that there were several blunt force traumas to his head.
Whoa!
Not just one. There was more than
because
one.
my gut was he slipped in the shower and there was, but they have ruled that out at this point that it didn't happen that way.
So it's still kind of odd as to what maybe might have happened.
Yeah, curious about that. Let's see here. All right, let's see what else is happening here across the nation there. We dig more into this. Does anybody think anything will happen with Hillary?
I hope that whoever was involved in that, I think all roads lead back to her. But I hope whoever was involved, something will. But, you know, I don't know. I mean, they kind of have their way of, some people have their way of just snaking themselves out of anything, you know.
They're saying this morning that Biden's NSA Jake Sullivan, they're dragging him into this and saying that he lied about saying Trump had a hotline to the Kremlin bank and receiving information. And all that come from the Clinton lawyer. So he could be in some hot water over it. It was a lot of connect. Y'all, you really have no idea whether you liked Trump, whether you totally disliked the man. The world was against him, and they were doing anything that they could. A lot of the statements that, do you remember?
Well, they were spying on him when he was running.
Yeah.
On his campaign. They
Y'all
were
remember
spying on that. And he tried to say that they were doing that, and nobody believed him. But then they were spying on him from the Oval Office. I mean, that's a major thing right there.
What was the girl's name that shut down the interview when he said, "I'm being spied on"? She just shuts it down. No, this isn't happening.
She goes, no, that does not happen. You know, that's just how she did. I don't know what her name is, though, but I saw it. I saw the interview again the other night, a part of it.
She needs to make a public apology immediately.
Yeah.
There's so much. And my whole point on that is we have not scratched the surface of what really went on with all this. We have no idea just how deep that went.
Yeah.
And you go, well, he was sending out mean tweets. Well, if you had all this happening behind the scenes, you might too send a mean tweet. Yeah. Just saying.
Leslie Stahl
was it. It was 60 Minutes.
Yeah.
Shameful to do that, especially when you had no idea. And I'm telling you, we don't know. There's more to this than meets the eye.
Laura Todd Lee says, what TV channel on Xfinity do you come on? It's on Comcast. 248, is that right?
Yeah, 248.
248.
Is where you can find that. More coming up on this because this will be slow. And I want to point out that outside of Fox and Newsmax, no one is talking about this. Why? Because of the C word, Clinton. It's not being discussed. They don't want to talk about it. And that tells you right there who wants to speak up and tell it. So just heads up there. We'll watch it as best we can as the news slowly trickles out of that. She's refused to answer any questions about this. Refused.
Yeah, I think somebody this morning, I was watching a news segment, and she was going into her daughter's apartment building or house or something.
Yeah,
people were trying to get her to ask or answer questions.
There's a picture of that beautiful scene there. Bulletproof windows there.
You remember when she was running the last time for president, how she had all those issues, like she was passing out, and I wonder what has ever happened with that.
Not being followed as closely, no one seeing it, maybe. That's some of the news that we're seeing this morning there. Let's see here. Worst poll yet for Biden is he slips a little bit further in this. And let's dig into this. They've got the numbers from the states, and we only have 3 states in the entire United States that think he's doing a wonderful job. That's going to be Hawaii. They think at 47% he's doing good compared to 42% saying no. Can you read that word? That's Maryland.
Maryland. 44% Maryland agrees that he's doing a great job. 43%. That's close.
Yeah.
And then Massachusetts, 47%
All right.
on his side.
All right. Tell me the numbers on Mississippi. This is
26%.
that think he's doing a great job.
Yeah. 65% says nah.
There you go. And the numbers like that are everywhere. Yeah. Oh, we got one other state that likes him. I forgot that.
Vermont, 49%. Is that where is he from? Is that where he's from?
Bernie is from Vermont.
Okay, where is Biden from? Is that?
Man, I can't tell you. Delaware, maybe?
Yeah, Delaware. That's it. Look at the numbers.
I'm going to go back up this way here. Right there.
Only 35% like him in his own home state.
Hello. And, it's hard to believe most any story that Joe throws out there because he's so good with these stories that he tells that he hears somebody else tell it, and then it becomes his story.
Yeah.
Yesterday, he tells it. Have you heard the story of the dog?
I caught the tail end of it, of the dog story. Tail end.
I did. Look at you being all clever over there. I don't necessarily believe this, but supposedly when he was running a campaign back home, he gets a call from a voter in his district that says, hey, there's a dead puppy dog in my yard. Can you have it removed? And he goes, well, call the whatever with the city. They'll get it. And she comes back and says, no, that's in the morning. I can't wait. So supposedly Joe gets up in the middle of the night after dark, goes over and removes the deceased dog out of her yard.
But didn't he put it up on the porch?
Yeah.
So I'm going to take it out of your yard, put it a little closer to you on your porch.
Why would you do that? Number one. I think he's confused again. I could be proven wrong on that, but that story's just so weird.
Well, it kind of, to me, was kind of a slap in the face saying that he took a Republican's, complaint and put the dog from her yard on her porch,
Does it matter how you vote?
No, I wouldn't think it would, but they made a deal of saying she was a Republican.
Because he made a point
like
of that.
when she called, did he say, are you Republican or Democrat?
Maybe she opened up and said, I didn't vote for you when she called him. I don't like you, but I need you to take care of this.
I don't know. Maybe he thought he was working for the pound.
Gabby first said he stays confused.
Or for the animal control.
And maybe Joe is telling the truth here, but it's getting to the point with most stories from the government. You just don't believe everything you hear.
See, I want to watch the whole thing. Did he break out in that story in the middle of talking about something else? Like the roaches and the hair on his legs?
Yeah, I got these blonde hairs on my legs that kids love to touch. Now, that itself is creepy.
Yeah, that is creepy.
Mentally ill there. We're getting all types of comments on that. Y'all watch it. Y'all know that. Let's turn to the Lauderdale County Farm Supply. Why? Well, they got so much there for you at the Farm Supply. No matter what you're looking for, the Circle E candles and the Purvis Jewelry candles, they've got them all over the place there.
I love the Circle E candles. They smell so good.
Do they?
Mm-hmm. They have one, Bird of Paradise. If you have not.
Really Jimmy Dickens had a song called that, The Bird of Paradise, and I'll tell you about that later. If you need fire retardant clothing, they've got that for you. If you're a hard worker, Ariat shirts and FR blue jeans, they got them all over the store there. Maybe you need a sweatshirt and T-shirt is going to be coming out soon. Why? Spring is in the air. It's coming right after the storms. As we look at this, still to stay warm, we got some days ahead because we're still in February that you'll need to keep that noggin and ears nice and warm, along with hats and jeans and Carhartt. Boy, that's some of the best stuff there. Overalls that you want to wear and boots. Taking care of the working man there, whether you need a mud boot or if you need a good boot to work in every day to keep your toes safe. They got it for you there. Affordable pricing, too. Anything that you're doing in your yard as you get ready for spring, working on those gardens, they got a tool just for you there. From pet supplies, skillets, and a whole lot more, including, drop on by that gift shop. You'll see them there with corn, horse feed, cattle feed. It's all good. Guns and ammo. All at the Lauderdale County Farm Supply. Drop in and visit them today. They'll help you out.
Sanders Gas, Sanders Air and Heat is your full-service propane supplier since 1946. We take pride in ensuring reliable, friendly service to our customers. We also provide safety tune-ups related to propane, air conditioning, and heating systems, keeping our community efficient and safe. I'm Chuck Sanders, and yes, we're local.
Since 1985, Miss Rodney's Muffler Shop has been taking care of you. As a matter of fact, they're ranked as the #1 muffler dealer in the South Central Mississippi area. Still located on 8th Street, where you can conveniently drop in. Well, they offer you all the Flowmaster and dual pipes that you'll need, any custom bending for your vehicle. They offer mufflers, muffler deletes, and even factory stock mufflers. They can even install a converter for you. 482-8211. 8 to 5 Monday through Friday, and they're open until noon on Saturday. And welcome back with Scotty Ray and Candace. And Bill knew exactly what I was talking about when I mentioned little Jimmy Dickens, the bird of paradise. And if you've never heard that, take a listen. He was yay tall and sang a lot.
I thought I'd fix my chair from rocking, but I guess I didn't.
I'll fix that for you later.
I have a habit of, like, if I'm in a rocking chair.
Yeah. I don't do it. I have to stay still
Okay,
there. You're hard to watch on television if you're moving back and forth doing that.
Yeah. It's the South.
It is. It's the Deep South. And welcome. Good morning. If you've never visited with us before, we're glad to have you a part of our show. We tell you a little bit about everything that is going on, good, bad, or ugly. We try to be honest about it. We love your suggestions. If you happen to see something, inbox us, as we got so many people here joining us. If you're watching on television, you can also take a part. This is the only show that I know of where you can interact live with us while we're on television,
Right.
Through social media. We'll be found on Facebook and lots of places, sammedia.net. Find us. Lots to share. Let's go back in history, a few things that happened on this date. He was not real popular in the South by any means. It would cause a struggle, and we'd go to fighting amongst each other over him because he became president. But I do respect him for this one thing, and the letter still exists, and I've read it several times. A little girl looked at this guy that was running for president, and she decides that she's 11 years old, if I remember, and she decides that she wants to write a letter to Abe Lincoln, and she does. And she suggests to him that he doesn't look as handsome as he could be because he's got a clean-shaven face. And she goes on to say that maybe you need to grow whiskers like my dad and my brother. And so he does this. And sure enough, he gets elected president. But on his way to the White House, he stops to visit the little girl that suggested it in her hometown and do a thank you in person for doing that.
Well, that was sweet.
1861, they stopped the train down. And she was 11 years old.
Right.
Grace Beadle was her name. If you look up history there and read the letter there, pretty interesting that he even reacted to an 11-year-old girl.
That was nice.
But he was homely without that beard.
Don't you know she was excited?
Have you ever noticed the pictures of him without it?
No, I haven't. I was just thinking.
That was loud.
That was kind of scared me a little bit. But yeah, I was just thinking a while ago, I cannot even picture him without a beard.
Yeah, it's different looking. And I've got some. I just don't have them handy to chunk up there right now.
Looks like he might have had a real prominent chin or something.
Yeah,
without that
Abe,
beard.
I'm telling you now, it was all a political let's get married type thing, because he would have had a hard time finding a woman. Like if I was trying to hook him up with a best friend somewhere, it'd be hard to get Abe a date. Let's just be honest about it. Oh, Abe. Do you refer to him as Honest Abe?
No, I just said Abraham Lincoln. That's how
1923, King Tut's tomb was opened for the first time. They knew where it was. They finally located it, but it would be this date that they took the crowbars and slid it back and went in there. I even hear that there's possibly some more hidden chambers they didn't know about. I think they'll take drones in the end and do that. And here's a picture of that, of what they found that day. Gold, and more gold in there. King Tut, that was an interesting story there. And there are more tombs out there that have never been found. Through the years, a lot were robbed, but history like you wouldn't believe there.
That's neat.
It would be 1935 that this old boy would be born. You would, years later, in the 70s, turn on your television and see him and his wife. She was much larger than him, and you couldn't help but try to equal it out when watching that show. 1935, Sonny Bono was born.
Yes.
And the only song that I can tell you that he and his wife ever done was one. And do you know that one?
What?
Their famous song.
Oh, no, what?
You bound to.
I got you, babe.
There it is. That's. I know they've done more, but
yeah.
I couldn't tell you what they were.
Yeah, they had their show that they did.
Yeah.
But
I got
didn't
you,
you
babe.
become like a politician
Yeah, he
later
was a
on in
senator.
life?
Skiing down the hill, lost control and hit a
Yes.
tree. Lost his
Tragic.
life there.
That was tragic.
It was. You know, this is how time kind of plays tricks on your mind. Of you just grow to think, well, that's always been there. But it was not the case. It would be this date in 1968 that it would be introduced. And I'm sure it took years before people started reacting to it. But the very first 911 call was placed on this date. They finally set up a service for this.
I remember we were in Georgia one time, and my kids, my girls, thought it was going to be funny to call
Oh.
and hang up or something, you know. And they called back to the house.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You do that in
They
the
got
middle
in
of
big trouble.
My mother, not long ago, somehow or another, in the middle of the night, bumped the phone, and the popo come out to check on her. They do what they do is some type of check just to make sure that you're all right.
Yeah, well, that's good though that they do that.
Because you
but,
could make
you know,
crawl, just barely get there, something wrong, and they want to make sure that you're all right. Yeah. Let's see here what else happened on this day. Oh, and this involves several people. They, cops sometimes pull over famous people. This happened. A famous person gets pulled over and he goes, "Hey, give me your autograph." And he does it, and then he doesn't give him a ticket. He goes on to have other issues, and he would get in deep trouble for not doing it. Kid Rock was arrested back in 2005 on this night for punching a DJ in, a club that his mama wouldn't have been proud that he was at. Police were called. Rock got out the back door, and that's when he was pulled over. He gave the autograph, and he had been drinking, and that's where the cop got in trouble. He would go on down the road and get arrested somewhere else for drinking and driving. Kid got in all kinds of trouble over that. Yeah. Oh, here's another one. He may be on the Rock side, but boy, this old boy's had his brush with the law, and many a time of having one too many to drink, and that would be John Michael Montgomery. The next year got arrested on this date.
I thought you could only get so many, and then you went to
I think it's 3.
the big slam.
Yeah, you get in. I'm not going to tell you how many times of other stars, and honestly, that I have, I was, because I used to go to Nashville a good bit. And I remember one night, and Clay Walker, what a great guy he is. He covered for this gentleman. But I was going down the hall, and I went in the backstage door to where he was doing. He was up against the wall. I mean, plastered. Didn't fell down on the floor, and they get on stage, and they go, "So-and-so can't make it tonight. He's under the weather." Yeah, he was on the flow. And Clay Walker just happened to be, and they grabbed him, and he filled in. And that was nice of Clay to fill in for that old boy. That's been many a year ago. We would learn about there's still a lot I don't know about this, because I thought they were the perfect match. Blake Shelton and Miranda Lambert.
I did too. I thought they just went together really well.
Gosh, and when they done that remake of "You're the Reason That God Made Oklahoma," remember them doing it? That was great. They hung out in Ada, Oklahoma. I knew people that saw them all the time. Am I right that she was the one that was fooling around? Am I right on that?
I don't know. I don't know what took place. I didn't look into that, but
It seems like that's what I was told. Anyway, they would end up getting a divorce, and he would start dating that famous chick.
Gwen Stefani.
Her.
Which they make a cute couple, too. They look like they would be total opposites, obviously, but I think that they kind of fit well together.
I see more and more Blake without the hat since he's gone national.
Yeah, as long as he don't get any piercings or anything.
But it was on this date that Miranda would get remarried. She marries somebody not quite as famous, and he's just a police officer there. He's not in the spotlight like Blake's girlfriend is. But she remarried on this date. So she's been married for, 3 years now?
Yeah.
Almost a record for these stars to be married for more than 3 years.
It's great she married a cop, though,
No, I'm just saying he wasn't. She
I know.
didn't take the
He wasn't
route.
like a big...
Most of them try to stick to the famous folks, and she just picked an old ordinary boy that all the women were going, "Ooh, he's hot, he's hot." You remember all that talk?
Yeah.
So that happened on this date. A few things that went on there. Maybe your celebrity friend. There's not many celebrities that just stay married forever.
Yeah.
A few are out there, but it's not many that stay married that long.
Well, they're not married, though, but Goldie Hawn and Kurt Russell, they've been together for years and years. They've never married.
Karen Palmer said I had it wrong, that it was Blake having the affair. Oh, I'd heard it the other way around. Joyce said she was told that also. So who knows the truth on this here? I don't know. It was quiet at first, and then I started hearing peeps of this and that.
I would think when you have two stars, though, they're going separate directions all the time, doing this and that. I mean, I that's not a life I would ever want to live.
Oh, that life on the road is rough.
Yeah, I would never.
And
I think it would be hard to be married to anybody though that's gone a lot. Kudos to people who do it, and I know sometimes you have to do it because you gotta have a job.
And I give you a challenge for
It would be
today
hard.
because the situation that you described is probably one of the best country songs that I have ever heard in my life. And I like the guy so much. There's a song called She's All Lady. Have you ever heard that?
No.
He goes to a bar, and I'm talking about Jamie Johnson. He's playing the gig, and he goes in, he sits down at the table, and he's played a set, and he takes a break. And this woman sends him a glass of a shot over. He goes, that's all right, I don't need it. And she comes down, she sits down, she's hitting on him, and he goes, whew, you sure are a gorgeous woman. And he goes, and I can't help but think of driving you home or holding you close because you're all woman. But he goes, she's all lady. That's why I can't. And he goes through the thing where he met his wife at the church, and I can't be dragging you home with all that. But that song is just so powerful. If you've never listened to it, do that. Play it for your husband if he's on the road a lot and say, make this as my ringtone.
Debbie Alexander, Debbie, she
Yeah.
says that he had an affair on Kat
Yep.
that he brought to Meridian with Miranda. Then he had an affair on her with Gwen.
That's true. Because me and Debbie met him, and Kat was his road manager for years, and then he married her. Then he had a fling with Miranda, who also had a fling with Jamie. And Jamie's wife wanted everybody to know about it back in the day because she sent an email out to everybody.
Yeah. So he was having an affair with Gwen Stefani behind Miranda.
That's what it sounds like. Okay, Desiree Palmer said TMZ said that Miranda was cheating on Blake with Chris Young. There's all types out
Good
there.
Lord.
Boy,
the tangle webs we weave.
That's what I was thinking. So, Blake, if you're watching, straighten this out for us. Let us know there.
Good grief.
Interesting. More coming up. Don't rush off.
I spent weeks in the hospital due to a careless driver. I could no longer afford to do it alone. I knew I needed help.
I'm Mississippi Attorney Richard Schwartz. I'm proud to represent the people of the great state I call home.
Rock House Gun and Pawn is open Monday through Saturday from 9 a.m. until 6 p.m. Lots of different calibers and brands to choose from when it comes to hunting rifles. Whether you're looking for a new pump shotgun or an AR, the Rock House will have the gun that you need. With a huge selection of ammunition for just about any caliber that you may be looking for. Pistols, scopes, and a whole lot more. Plus a private lobby for your confidentiality when it comes to your pawns. Rock House Gun and Pawn, located at 5430 Highway 19 North Meridian. Alice says she could care less who cheated on who in that thing. Everybody's got a comment on it. It's interesting, though.
My gosh, though. Like, why even? I mean, I don't know. If you're not trustworthy, I mean, it's probably a good idea that you don't get married.
It ain't gonna work out. That is definite. Biden is telling us that, well, y'all get ready because I looked at the gas pump when I passed it yesterday as my E gets closer and closer, and I hadn't filled up. It was at 302. I've seen as high as 310 in the area. Biden is telling everybody, be ready. Gas prices are fisting to go up. Everybody ready for this? I'm not.
I'm not either. It's already, gosh, like you said, high enough.
Oh, boy.
But, he was talking about this stuff with Russia. It could cause gas, it could cause...
There's a pipeline goes through there because we're no longer drilling here. That is a racket. As we also talk about that, inflation at 9.7%. Do y'all believe this? Everything is the highest it's been in 40 years.
I'm going to tell you yesterday, or I think it was one of the days, just supplies for like hairstylists and stuff. It's gone outrageous. If you're a hairstylist and you're watching, you know what I'm talking about. I mean, I went the other day and got like just 3 or 4 things. It's $50.
Quick, gone.
Yes, $50. And I'm like, I could have put everything I had in this little thing, this little section.
$50.
Yeah.
As we look at gas prices that are coming in, Christy tells us that in Union is $3.19. Macon, Mississippi may be the highest that we're showing. Gail Williams says $3.39 a gallon, Macon, Mississippi. And then here in Nashville, what's that price? I can't read it from here.
$3.30.
That's
$3.30
a
a gallon. Mm-hmm.
So if you've got gas prices that compare to that in your area, let us know. Woo, that's ridiculous. Yeah. But we are climbing at the fastest rate in 40 years on this inflation. We've got another price there. 2 of them there. $3.25 and also $3.27 in Newton, Mississippi this morning.
Yeah, somebody had listed one of the businesses going up on prices because of supply shortages and inflation. And I mean, I can understand. We had to go up on our prices, on our services and stuff because you got to.
Everything is a trickle.
You got to be able to make money,
It gets passed on and on and on. Everybody else gets a part of this. And then the 18-wheelers delivering shipping is high.
It's a domino effect.
Scuba, Mississippi, $3.29 a gallon, $3.35. We got another price there in Newton, in the middle there, another gas station.
$3.35 in Newton.
I have no idea what diesel is, as Elmer asked that.
Oh, yeah.
It's probably over $4 now. 304
at diesel
sounds.
was cheaper, right?
At one time.
Yeah,
It hadn't been
not
that way in
anymore.
years now.
Mm-hmm.
They stick it to the trucker. There's no other way to word that. Whether he's independent or works for a company, it's hard to get by.
Talking about the truckers, they're freezing their bank account. Did you see that?
Yes, because they've enacted, we talked a little bit about that yesterday, that emergency plan to where it takes over where the government can seize anything they want to.
Yeah.
Bad stuff there.
If they can do that, though, I think they can do anything.
Yeah.
If they can do that, and if the government can spy on big people, they can spy on the little ones.
Martial law is what that is. And when martial law takes over, y'all better remember, you have no rights. You can kick and scream all you want, but you absolutely have no rights at that point. Whatever the government says is what it is. And that's what's happening in Canada with that, what they enacted there.
Well, also with Russia and all this kind of stuff, I think there was several in the Ukraine banks. This is scary to me. They were talking about some banks where there was a cyber attack yesterday.
Yes,
on the
I saw
Ukraine.
that.
Well, there was a couple of banks that were affected, and they froze everything in the banks. Nobody could get money out. So, what if that happened here? I mean, it could.
It could.
It
Very
could very
easily.
well easily happens.
Rick Gardner says statewide tornado drill today at 9:15. So if you hear one, it is a drill today. Keep that in mind there. As we turn to Godwin Cleaning Services, they're there to help you out as we all try to make our places look better. Whether it's your business or home, Subway's had them come out and work with them. Great work there. As we look at the metal building roof there, and again, this can be any type building, whether it's a shop, it's a business that's made out of metal. They'll make it look brand spanking new again. Soft, doesn't damage anything, from sidewalks that are made of brick all the way up to a home that has that brick walkway into it. And what do you call that stuff? Is it just
Moss?
Moss?
The green?
Yeah, that stuff there.
It's like a mossy stuff.
Yeah. It will take over your brick patios, all of this, your brick steps. Have it cleaned out. They'll do this for you at Godwin Cleaning Services. It's low pressure and it's soft. Doesn't damage anything. Know what you're doing there. Here's another example there of the house where it doesn't need painting now. It's all clean again. Saves you thousands upon dollars there. Slate roofs, not a problem there. Also asphalt. Anything that does with a roof, they can clean and make it look new again. Talk to them about this. Here it is over in Newton there at the Family Pediatric Clinic. They look new again also. There's lots to do taking care of you at Godwin Cleaning Services. Even your chimneys will look tons better. See them. Yeah. Call them at 253-8262. That's the number to call. Godwin Cleaning Services. Get on a schedule now and have your home looking spick and span.
I'm Michelle from Oxford, Mississippi, and it took one call, and that was all. I called my Mississippi attorney, Richard Schwartz, and he got me $287,500.
If you need me, Mississippi, remember, one call, that's all.
And welcome back with Scotty Ray and Candace as we head toward the top of the hour. And that's why, you and I were talking while commercial was playing, that digital currency, I don't trust that whatsoever.
Yeah, I don't. And say everybody had a scare and went and got their money out of the bank. I don't think everybody would be able to get their money out of the bank.
Well, it goes back to 1929 when the run on the banks happened there.
Yeah.
And they couldn't. And if you ever watched George Bailey, It's a Wonderful Life, if he made it to the end of the business day, he had $2 left at the end of the day.
Yeah.
If you run out of money. And that's what it is. It's a scare and people want it. It could happen. But they want a cashless society to where you couldn't operate without that digital. I'm not into that.
I'm not either.
I'm into a little ching of change and some folding money, as the old folks used to say.
Yep.
We're up to 30 Democrats now that are not going to rerun for midterm elections. As they look at this, the latest is going to be Catherine Rice has announced on Tuesday she will not seek re-election to the House.
Now, I wonder why are they doing that?
I don't know what I hadn't read the whole story of why she's not seeking it. A lot of it has to do with district lines, and they know they're not going to win it. Some of these were regrouped in the last year. Other stories this morning is that's that dog story there as we looked at that. Let's move on to something else more. The Queen. Well, this is big news here. Andrew has saved the royal family by settling. Now, I've heard two different figures. I've heard 10 million and I've heard 16 million to get out of it. I'm not sure which is true, but whichever, it's a lot of money, and the Queen is going to have to help him pay for it.
I bet she's happy.
It does save but I'm sure.
It saves them from, I guess, like the big.
Yeah. Probably, which is cheaper than having the family name destroyed in the public. Yeah. Everybody will always think it, but it was never proven in court doing it this way.
But he's not a favorite in the house.
Ooh. Guarantee you he'll never be king.
I bet he's getting a cussing in the background.
Oh, you know they're running him down. As we watch everything, let's see here, the convoy. If y'all paid attention to this going over there, they're claiming, the truck drivers, that things are being planted on them to make them look bad. Think that could happen?
Yeah.
Can I prove that? No. But could it happen? Absolutely. Stolen guns is what they're saying is being planted in trucks and all around them to frame them.
They're also inactivating their insurance, or they're not able to
use
have insurance. Yeah.
It just goes to show you just how it will go.
That's scary, though. That's scary that they can do that.
It is.
I mean, it really is, just because they don't agree with you. Okay.
Other news today, and I don't blame this. This is just now making service. They're trying to make a big to-do out of this in national news, and I don't blame Trump whatsoever. Do y'all remember when the Stormy Daniels story was about to break? Well, Trump hears about it that second time it was going to happen, and he borrows a Secret Service agent's phone to use to call Melania instead of using the White House phone, which they would have been listening to anything that he said to her.
Yeah, I wouldn't have trusted that. I mean, because he already knew that they were. He already got wind, I guess, that they were spying on him. But
they're trying to make a big deal out of him borrowing a phone. Don't blame him one bit. I think I'd have 5 extra hidden phones that no one knew about somewhere. What do they call them that used to be on that TV show 24? Burner phones.
Yeah.
Chunk them after you're done with them.
I mean, and look, you look back at Hillary when she did what they call it, washing the phones.
Yeah, bleached
phones.
Bleached those computers, and that did happen. Here's something, and I'll leave you with this thought this morning to think on. Sandy Hook, a horrible thing that went on. But do you believe as a nation that it is the gun manufacturer's fault that those people were shot? They settled yesterday for a $73 million settlement against the firearm Remington. They've got to pay the family $73 million. It was not the gun manufacturer that killed these people. It was an individual that had problems that done this. So is it right for the gun manufacturer to have to pay? Your opinion. What do y'all think? I don't believe they should.
I don't believe they should either.
You know,
They're saying he used an AR-15 that was made by Remington.
Yeah.
But still, I mean, yeah.
Should they be held accountable? That's just like if you have a car wreck and you sue Ford Company because you were driving a Ford, the person that killed a family member. I don't follow that logic, and I think that's going to destroy eventually the American way of companies. I think it will end up taking down our society to where you can't have a private company anymore because of the risk of being sued.
Well, I think that just really completely opened the door to that. The gun, you know, them wanting to take guns away.
$73 million is what they'll have to pay. I thought you ought to know that, but if you've got thoughts on it, we'd love to hear from you on that. Also, it looks like in 2 weeks, California is set to drop the school mask mandate. Believe it or not, California. I'm shocked on that. That tells you that it's starting to go away, and the CDC still has not spoke up and dropped all of this. Joe says he doesn't believe they should have to pay either. But your thoughts, we'd love to hear from that. We're coming up right at the top of the hour. Again, we'll keep you up to date with the latest with weather as bad weather approaches tomorrow through our area. Let you know the absolute latest. Anytime, day or night, we'll be here and go live with that information. So join us with that. And we'll keep you up to date with the fires and situations that are happening in Meridian today as well.
Yeah. Hopefully they got all that contained or getting on the way of getting it contained.
Right. We'll see you back tomorrow morning. Anything that we need to close with before we're gone?
hope everybody has a wonderful day and stay safe and be blessed.
All right. We'll see you tomorrow with Scotty Ray and Candace.
Scotty Ray's Weather is brought to you by